Hey guys, Daniela here from Best Body Bootcamp. So there seems to be a lot of hype these days going around about chocolate milk and dairy farmers pumping out chocolate milk as this awesome, amazing, healthy beverage, and a bunch of other so-called experts saying that it's an awesome post-workout recovery meal. So I'm here to tell you that the best thing to do post-workout is not to drink chocolate milk. It's to eat real food. So a healthy source of protein, some veggies, big salad, some healthy grains, you name it. That's the best thing to do. Now, second best option is to get a good protein powder. So there's not many out there. One of the few that I would recommend is Sun Warrior. This is an awesome vegan protein powder made from whole fermented sprouted rice. So it's not denatured like most whey proteins. It's definitely going to give you a good source of protein that your body can absorb because it has been fermented and sprouted. So that is option number two. Now, if you are really stuck on having chocolate milk and you love it, I'm here to show you an awesome recipe for a almond coconut chocolate milk. It's not full of artificial colors or flavorings or any of the other artificial sugars and junk that is in regular chocolate milk. It is totally sweetened naturally and full of yummy nutrients. Almonds are high in vitamin E, magnesium, and phosphorus, and in it I'm also going to add sesame seeds, which are really high in calcium, and that's going to give you your calcium content. So please stop believing all this stuff about if you don't drink milk, your bones are going to, be weak and you're not going to get enough calcium. You can get calcium in a much better absorbable form by having it through nuts and leafy greens. Pasteurized milk causes a lot of problems in a lot of people, causes, mucus and allergies and a load of other problems. So this milk, which I'm going to show you how to make, is totally nutritious and easy to absorb. Okay, so let's begin. In my blender, I've added some sesame seeds, which I've soaked for about 7 hours, and then in there I'm also going to add some almonds, which I've also soaked for about 7 hours. The reason that you soak nuts and seeds is more absorbable by the body. All nuts and seeds contain phytic acids and enzyme inhibitors, which the body has a hard time with. So by doing the soaking, which is so simple, just soaking it in filtered water, it makes it a lot more nutritious and easier for your body to absorb. Okay, so to this I'm also going to add 2 cups, and I put on my cup, so I'm going to add 2 cups of filtered water. Now, I like to add, some people do 4 cups when they're making almond milk, but I like to do 2-to-1 ratio for the almonds, because that way it's nice and creamy. But you can go ahead and add a little bit more if you want. Now, I don't have a super awesome high-powered blender, so don't worry if you don't have a Vitamix for this. It's totally doable in a regular blender. So to this, all we're going to do is turn on our blender. Okay. So if you do have a Vitamix, that's awesome, and I wish I had one. Hopefully one day I will. So what we're going to do next is we're just going to strain our almond milk, and you're going to notice that my milk is a little bit dark. The reason is that I've used dark sesame seeds because I was out of white ones, so it's not a big deal if you have black ones. I mean, I'm making chocolate milk anyway, so the milk's going to be dark, but just in case you're wondering why my milk looks a little bit dark colored. Okay, so I'm going to put my almond milk into my nut milk sack. Now, if you don't have a nut milk sack, you can use some cheesecloth to strain this, or if you have a really, really, really fine kitchen strainer, that would also work. So we're just going make sure we have clean hands, and we're just going to push that through. And I actually don't need the strainer here. I just had it here to show you that you could potentially use a strainer. So we are just going to push that through until all we have left is the pulp of the milk. And it's going to be so creamy and delicious. Okay, so once we have done that, you can just place it aside. And what I do with my pulp is I dehydrate it and then use it for baking. Okay, I just realized I'm totally out of the camera, but you're still getting the gist of what I'm doing. Okay, so that I'm going to put aside. And then, because my family and, well, my son mainly, really likes the creamy consistency, I'm just going to add my milk back into the blender. Okay. And I'm going to add 1/4 cup of coconut milk. I use this brand, Native Forest, in case you're wondering. I usually don't advocate cans, but Native Forest is one of the few brands known to not line their cans with EPA. So it's a really good and safe choice if you're going to have canned coconut milk. So I added about a 1/4 cup of coconut milk to my almond milk. And what I like to do actually with my leftover is I freeze it in a silicone ice cube tray, and then I just have it on hand anytime I want to make the rice milk. So I just pop out a couple squares, and that's about a 1/4 cup. Okay, so now for our chocolate. Okay, we're gonna add. So I mean, it depends on how chocolatey you like your chocolate milk. I'm gonna add about 3 tablespoons of cocoa to my mix, which is pretty chocolatey, pretty generous. Now keep in mind that this is just raw cocoa, so it's there's no sweeteners or anything like that in it, okay? And for those of you that like sweetness, we can either use coconut syrup, okay, which is low glycemic and a natural sweetener, okay? So I'm gonna add about 2 teaspoons worth of coconut syrup. And now you can add a little bit less if you don't like things too sweet, which is usually typical for me, but Roger and my son like it a little bit sweeter. Okay. So you can also use raw honey if you want. Totally up to you. As long as it's a natural sweetener, you can also put a date in there, and that'll sweeten it naturally. Okay. So back to my blender. I'm just gonna blend it one last time. Okay. I'm gonna grab a glass and taste some of this deliciousness. Delicious. Super creamy and yummy and nutritious and not full of artificial sweeteners and artificial colors and a bunch of other junk that's going to cause allergies and problems in your body. So cheers, and don't forget that you don't need milk to get calcium. Have a great day.